Hello, my name is Perlina Jones. This is my video reflection for IT 720 Instructional Design Theory. Let's The definition of instructional design. This phase assists with the systematic development of the training program and involves gathering material from the analysis phase to help establish solid components for the program. The design phase of adding model acts like as a blueprint, and I say the blueprint because its creativities and the logistics are very important during this phase. You have to get things that you know that you will have to do your homework, know what type of class is coming in, kind of get your everything in order. Make sure you have everything that will be needed as well as things that may be asked of the class, or you may have some questions, so you have to have a backup or something. It is essentially important that targets and objectives are established prior to gathering material so that you will have the material for the class. But once your goal and your objective are established and designed, then it will be more beneficial to research the instructional material that will be most suitable to assist with the attaining the goals and the objective. In the development, you have to know exactly when you're going into a class, you have to know exactly what's going on in the classroom to know what you're needing. For instance, I do a training class and it's basically for a call center. So I have to know what are they on Medicare, the Medicare portion, or will they be on the marketplace side? And then I need to know, are they going to be pushed up or bumped up to a tier 1 or an ISG agent, so they will be equipped to take all calls. And it's important that the instruction knows what's needed to be taught and learn how and what they are, and the learners have to know what they need to know and how they're supposed to learn and put themselves in their predicament and make sure they ask questions about what is being taught and make sure that they know what they're learning. That's the reason they give you the information on when you go for a job interview, what your criteria are, what you're applying for, the position you're applying for. You can't apply for a cashier and think you're going to be um, a stock person. So they have to know exactly what they're being asked to do and what the material that is being taught, what is actually for, because you can't teach a person to do cashier work. Actually, they're going into the stock room. So they have to know what they're there to learn as well, to make sure that it's in compliance and with the job that they have taken or that they are being offered. What areas do you feel that instructional design has a considerable impact on? The behaviorist learning theory, I think it has a lot to do with that because students come in and they learn, and sometimes they be in class and they may not want to participate. So you have to get things that are going. The behavior learning theory is a summary as the student learns that their behavior affects the environment of the class. So you don't want someone in a classroom, and I tell them all the time, we do the hot seats, that a person get up there and start taking a call, and they may stumble, and the first person that has something to say, I said, well, what would you do? How can you impact this phone call? How can you tell this person that's taking this call how to go to the extent of what the caller is needing so that that caller will not have to call back for something as simple as, I didn't change my address. My phone number is, oh, I forgot my phone number is wrong, because all this information that we take only to send this information over to another industry, the insurance, the provider for that person. So we take the information and then we need to send it on over to that person. The information processing theory support the cognitive learning theory, and that is going to be with the processing of the Gestalt theory, which is the focus of learning is on the individual. Then that individual person has to know what is expected of them, what type of learning that they're doing, making sure that they're impacted, whatever they're learning, they know exactly what is needed to be successful when they go out on the floor. So they need to make sure that they're using their information processing theory to process everything that is being taught to them. When you talk about the advantages and the limitations of instructional design, I'm just listing three of each, and because the advantages are the relevance. You have to be on target. The repetitions, you may have to repeat things over and over and over and over, and you have to be flexible to make sure that if that person that group of people are having some problem digesting what is being taught, you're flexible enough that, hey, I can send you to my LMS. We have some training on that, and we can go over that, and we can try to do a different way. Also, the limitation. You want to stay to a limit. You want to make sure. That's why the need assessment is so important to have, because of the cost and the quality and the training. You don't want to overspend on training. You don't want to get less quality than what you're really actually looking for. And then you don't want to go over your budget. Your budget is your brick wall. That's your wall there. So you want to have your limitations and you want to have your advantages. So your advantages as to your disadvantages when you're creating material in classrooms or what have you. So make sure that it's going to be everything that the student is going to need, or the trainee is going to need to perform, and a to be successful with their performance when coming out of that class. Talking about a little about the working memories. The working memories is the decision making memories, making sure that they're making the right decision on when they're on a call, or making the right decision as to what they're wanting their goals to be, or making the right decision as to what their major will be when they get in college, or just talking to them about the things within the classroom. Then you have that long-term memory. That long-term memory, that's that value that you cannot do something for several years, even 5 to 6 years, but that long-term memory is going to put that memory of you taking accounts receivable into a deposit box in your brain, and then it will be discussed later. It may take you a little while to get everything back on the table, but that long-term memory is your value performance, and we'll let you know. And the preference and the beliefs of the decision that you're making. You have your preference as to what you're wanting, and you have your beliefs as to what you would like for it to be. Uh,